we are in South Africa, building our car into a camper. And some days are more successful
Look at that.
than others.
Heavy lifting.
Heavy aluminium lifting.
Yes, okay. So that is our cargo rail.
It's your cargo rail.
One of them, yeah.
Yeah, and we're deciding where to put it on the car. It's perfect in length. I think it will come here. What do you think, partner?
Yeah, that's it. Problem is here.
How's it?
I found the antenna.
Oh,
I thought I had to buy one, but it was somewhere in the dash. It had fallen into it.
but yeah, we can pick up signals again.
Are you reading me?
No, I'm not going there.
Not today, eh?
Not today. No. We started this morning full of energy.
Yes.
What was the plan again?
We were going to put a wooden, piece of wood panel on that bulkhead there, and to mount the electrical stuff. And that was
Over
it.
here.
That was it. It was not too much to ask.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Yes. I was aiming low.
And from there we would continue with the rest of the electricity. Yeah. And then your ADHD took over.
Mine, only mine. You said you're gonna do the dash. In the end, I watched you do something with the door, and then you left that, and then you went to the dash, and I don't know what else you were doing.
Both of us work preferably on 6 projects at the same time.
Yes.
And then we forgot where we started. Yeah.
Yeah. But we have an antenna.
No.
No. I don't know what went wrong today. What went wrong? We didn't have.
What could you also ask?
What went right today? What went right today?
It's a far more difficult question, but
I can think of much more of the other stuff. Okay, but what went right? You saw that the 6mm couldn't work, so now you know that the 9mm might work on the dash.
yes.
Is that something?
Yeah, we found an antenna.
Oh, hammer on that. And we have 90% of the piece of wood ready and varnished for placement for electrical stuff.
Yeah, the floor is in.
The floor is in, if you can call it that. The floor is lying here where the floor should be. The floor should still be fixed in, but that will happen later.
I'm trying to think very hard
What went right?
of something that went right.
What were you busy with the whole time?
Yeah, so I spent 2 hours shaving a piece of wood to fit in the dash. Then in the end, it didn't fit.
But now you know. Negative results are also results. Yes.
Yeah.
So, what else was happening today? Oh, we talked about where the cargo rails were gonna go, and we have not come to an agreement on that yet. But I while I was driving, when I was gone just now, I came up with some ideas.
Oh.
To make it stronger.
Want to share them?
No. No, I still need to think them through.
Okay. More thinking.
Yes.
Okay. What we're gonna do tomorrow?
Tomorrow, we are going to put a piece of plywood where the electrical stuff is going to be mounted.
We're gonna start with what we started with this day. Morning. It's before 8. Hey. We're ready
Yes, we are ready.
to take on the same project as yesterday.
Yes, to start again. What exactly are you doing?
I'm demounting the seatbelt.
Why?
That gives me more space to work here. Because I'm making a wooden panel to fit in here. Look.
Okay.
Wait for it.
So, the client is always right.
And the client is happy.
Okay, so that is all that counts, and the client was who? And so, what we did was yesterday, this was whitewashed. It was nice, but maybe just a little bit too white. Then I had to make it less white, so I sanded it. And of course you can't sand it perfectly even. So now it's this.
Happy customer.
Happy customer. Okay.
But what are you gonna do?
Okay, so this is going to be fixed with bolts to this bulkhead. It's a piece of wood, 9mm ply with a piece of about 2 or 3mm rubber behind it. Then we're going to mount the inverter on this and some other electrical stuff, and there will also be a plate here for the smaller electrical stuff. First, getting this fixed. Almost there.
Yes.
Last two.
And
My back is broken, but it's in.
does it feel solid?
Yes.
Okay. Nice. This was a long day.
It's a long day. What you got there?
I think it's an induction stove.
Yeah.
One of the main reasons why we have this fancy electrical setup with a massive inverter. Yeah, someone really wanted an induction stove.
Yes, that was me.
So yeah, let's see.
So which one did we buy?
Which one did we buy?
The Snappy Chef Traveler. So it's a low wattage one, and I think the max is 1200 watts. So that's perfect, not to overload our system.
So this is gonna fit nice in our kitchen here. So here
Will be a little
fold-out table.
yeah.
We can also use it here.
Yeah.
It can be up there.
Yes. Happy?
Snappy. The Dash. Episode.
Millions, trillions.
Okay.
It's like a soapy. It never ends. And someone has come back from the dead and needs to be exercised. All of those things. I think there's a demon in it. But okay, it's sort of in. At least what you want in is in. The plastic you wanted back is back. Then you need to do what you still want to do. Some pieces of the dash will not be going back, I hope. And that will be just exchanged with the wood. So this is sprayed. Little tray in here that's nicely sprayed. That just covers all the wires. And then we will also be, I don't know how, but we will be bringing up electricity from the laser batteries to USB ports and so on here.
All right. The saga continues.
Yes, the saga continues.
How is it?
Tetris. Tetris is not. It's almost game over. We're almost at the top.
Yeah. So we're trying to fit all our electrical stuff on this board. Not all of it, but a lot. By the way, super helpful. The wiring diagram that we used.
Maybe a little bit over designed, but very good, I think. But we didn't stick to it 100%. And we couldn't get everything that we wanted. But I think it's good enough. It's just bigger than we thought it would be. So agricultural feels like. It's not quite as cute and small as those. But we are in Africa, eh? What is this?
This is a template for the dashboard.
Okay.
And what are you doing?
I am now still busy with my electrical stuff, but I have now marked it all out. It looks very professional, and I will be starting to drill holes to put it all in place, and then I can start with the wires.
What did you fabricate?
Well, the switch, the battery switch on off, we didn't really have the right setup, so the cables need to come in here and we need to access it here. So I made a little bracket and it's going on there.
Yeah, what's also nice is that every time we start talking in front of the camera, the builders also pick
Start
up.
grinding. Yeah.
I think, we also need to go back to work.
To crimp the wires, a friend of ours lent us this hydraulic crimper. Thank you very much, Jock. And he also advised he first crimps it with the correct size, but then also goes one size smaller. Now I tried it with the correct size, it just pulls off. So I'm just now going to go one size smaller. So it's a 25 square millimeter cable. So you have a 25 to a 6 lug, and I'm using a 16 crimping head. So I'm just putting it in the vise because I can't hold it and pump this at the same time.
Good.
And I have this crimped. I think it's good. I'm not going to pull on the wires. And then I need to heat shrink to close up the connection nicely. So I have quite a nice tight heat shrink on there. Hopefully this is hot enough to shrink it, because I'm too skimpy to buy a heat shrink gun or whatever that thing is. Yes, look at that.
And this little project. This is a very nice tool, which gives you very precise measurements. I think it's called vernier. It looks now like we're doing
Tool Talk Tuesday.
Tool Talk Tuesday, like Jess and John. We love watching their videos. They're now in Canada, but they do awesome fan builds. We don't come close to what they do, but a lot of inspiration.
A brilliant bit of kits for the workshop.
How was your day?
Yeah. Electrifying. I am at least almost done with most of the DC bit of this board. Not the small components going out, but at least the larger components. Then we'll still need to connect to the inverter, but we'll have to get this heavy board mounted in the car. That's going to be a job, but that will not be a job for today. Hopefully nothing blows up once we connect the batteries. Maybe we can look at the solar panels and how to connect those, but I don't think that will happen tomorrow.
Yeah, our fixed panel was delivered today.
Yes, there it is. It's big.
Ah,
It's bigger than I thought.
okay.
It's quite big.
This is gonna fit on our roof.
I don't know. Yeah, let's hope. But
So this is MPPT for the solar, DC to DC charger. This is our fuse box. We have some breakers in between on the red line, as you can see. 60 amp, 60 amp, and the fuse. 2 bus bars, a positive one and a negative one. This is the battery switcher, so with one switch we can turn off our system. This is our shunt. That's another fuse, a bigger one. That also goes to the inverter.
This is a beer, it is empty.
Good morning! On my way to pick up our cargo rails. They were powder coated. Furthermore, I have a shopping list with some electrical components. We are learning a lot of new things, working on our electrical setup, which is sometimes frustrating, but also fun. Hopefully after we've done our electrical setup, we can really continue with building our construction. I'm also still working on our dashboard. What we're also going to do is replace some buttons, for example the hazard light. It's quite tucked away, like over there. I cannot even really I have to like reach. And the hazard light is actually something that you use quite a lot in South Africa on the road. The main thing you use it for is to say thank you. You do that if someone in front of you on like a bigger road moved to the left to give you space to pass them, and then when you did that, you put on your hazard light for a few seconds. It means thank you, and they can then say you're welcome by putting on their flashlight. So lots of communication going on the road here. Woo. There was a deer just next to the road, so that is of course one thing that you have to keep in mind. If you move too far to the left, there's of course a bigger chance that there are animals right next to the road, and of course you want them to be safe too. Looking good. Nice. Happy?
Yeah.
It's really good.
Nice. How's the fear of ice going?
They're still alive.
Hey sunshine.
Hello. We just mounted our solar panel on the roof. Look at that. How cool. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy our videos, please like and subscribe. See you next time. It will be an episode without hammers, drills and saws, but filled with amazing mountain passes and wonderful valleys. Because we went on our first tiny trip from Montague in Klein Karoo to Cedarburg. Wander along.
What do you have there? I found the antenna.
What do you have there? Okay. Yeah, what do you have there?